Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on True Confessions, Naija. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a message sent to me by one of our subscribers, and the message reads like this. My name is Tasha, not her real name. I'm from Ghana, and I want to share a story I've never told anyone. Not my family, not my friends. Only now, after healing a little, do I have the courage to let the world know what happened to me. It all started during the lockdown. The world was in chaos. Everything was uncertain. And like many people, I turned to the internet for comfort. That's why I met him on Facebook. He called himself Baseline. No last name, no profile picture, no mutual friends. His profile was almost empty, but something about him, I don't know. He just felt different. He messaged me out of nowhere. At first, I ignored him. Then he sent another message, kind, polite one. He said he had been watching my profile and liked how pure I looked. I was flattered and lonely, so I replied. We started talking every day. His words felt like medicine to my soul. He told me he was Nigerian, rich, but didn't like showing off. He said he had inherited wealth from his parents, but was looking for true love. Someone who loved him for who he was, not what he had. And I believed him. A few weeks passed, and we were talking about everything, our dreams, our families, fears. He said I was special. He said he wanted me to come visit him in Nigeria, all expenses paid. My heart said yes before my mind could say no. He booked my flights, sent me the tickets. I was nervous, but excited. I thought maybe, just maybe, I found the right one. But the nightmare began the moment I landed. When he picked me up at the airport, something felt off. First, he didn't look exactly like the pictures. He was taller, older, his eyes, something in them felt cold. But I told myself, maybe I'm overthinking. Then he told me calmly, Tasha, you need to get in the boot of the car. What? There's a high security in the estate I live in, he said. If they see you, they'll ask questions. Just trust me. And like a fool in love, I did. He drove through a guarded estate with fingerprint scanners and heavily armed security. I stayed curled up in the trunk, heart racing, telling myself it was only for a few minutes. Once we got inside, I'll feel safe. But I never felt safe again. The house was massive, modern, and cold, like a place with no soul. He told people from around the world lived there. Powerful, rich people. That's why everything had to be kept secret. He took my passport just to check my visa, and I didn't even realize I never got it back. At the airport, he had handed it to another man without me noticing. I was trapped and didn't even know it. At first, he was charming, cooked for me, bought me clothes, but soon things changed. One night, he asked me to wear a strange costume. It had horns, like some kind of demon or animal. I laughed, thinking it was a joke, but he was serious. He handed me a glass of dark red wine, almost like blood, and told me to drink it. After drinking it, I felt not myself, like I was floating, weak, obedient. He told me he loved me when I wore the costume. Said I looked like his goddess. He started filming us during sex, but only me. His face never showed. I didn't know why. I didn't even have the strength to fight back. That's why it made me numb, confused, like I was under a spell. One day, while cleaning the living room, I looked under the couch and found a small coffin. My body froze. Suddenly, I remembered. Every time he wanted sex, he insisted it be on that couch. Even if it was 3 a.m., he would wake me up and drag me there. That night, I had a horrible dream. In the dream, a girl came into the house. Her skin was pale, her eyes lifeless. I knew instantly she was dead. She took my hand, led me to a room with a jacuzzi. She pointed into it and said, "Look." I looked. There was a body floating face down. Turn it around, she said. When I did, I saw myself. I was dead in the jacuzzi. I woke up screaming. and he was standing there just watching me. From that day on, he changed. The abuse became worse. He beat me for small things, forced me to have painful sex, not normal, but cruel, violent. He said he enjoyed me screaming. I cried every night. Then one day, he brought a friend over, said he was going to take a quick shower, and left us watching Netflix. Before leaving, he poured me that same dark wine. I only sipped once. The next thing I remember, I was on top of his friend, naked, disoriented. When he came back, he beat me, screamed at me, and told me to leave. But I begged for my passport. He refused. Said he would drive me out of the estate, but I had to stay in the booth again. I was terrified, but had no choice. After driving me out, he suddenly got soft. Said he loved me, that he was just angry because he grew up watching his father beat his mother to death. He started crying, apologizing, begging me to stay. He offered to take me to the mall to cool off. I agreed, but only because I planned to run. At the mall, I wandered around in a daze. My eye was swollen from the beating. I used my hair to hide it. I didn't know who to trust. I feared telling someone would get me arrested for being in the country illegally. But then I heard people speaking Twi, my language. I approached them and asked, "Where can I find a bus to go back to Ghana?" They looked at me, concerned. A man nearby overheard us. He asked why I was hurt. I was too scared to tell the truth, but he offered to call me an Uber to the bus station. I was finally free, or so I thought. At the station, I didn't have enough money. I tried asking around, but no one helped, until a mechanic who worked nearby heard my story. He said he wanted to help. Said he left his wallet at home and offered to walk me there to give me the money. I followed him, desperate. At his house, after handing me the money, I turned to leave, but the door was locked. He looked at me and said, "You and I are both adults. You can't just leave like that. You know what I want." I cried silently. I gave him what he wanted. I had no strength left to fight. That night, he took me back to the bus station, gave me a ticket and said, "Don't tell anyone you got something." I got something. I rode the bus back in silence. When I got home to Ghana, I got seriously sick. At the hospital, I was diagnosed with an STI. I wanted to die. I almost did. And the worst part, the man from Facebook disappeared. His account was gone. His last message to me on WhatsApp was a coughing emoji, then blocked. I remembered on my first night in that house, he made me sign a blood contract. He drew my blood with a needle and put it on a paper, but I never saw him use his own. Even now, I wonder if I sold something I can't ever get back. I'm only 22 years old, but what I've lived through feels like a lifetime of pain. I just want someone out there to hear me and never fall into the same trap. To the viewers, please be careful online. Love should never cost you your freedom, your body, or your soul. If you have ever been in a similar situation, know that you are not alone. Share your voice, speak your truth. Dear listeners, right there is a message that was sent to me by one of our subscribers. Things they really happen for this world of ours. Now, wow.